In the heart of a bustling city, where neon lights flickered over rain-slicked streets, lived a man named Victor Lane. Once a promising accountant, he had fallen into a life of crime, lured by the temptation of easy money. At first, it was small embezzlements shaving off numbers, pocketing a little here and there. But greed is a fire that feeds on itself. And soon, Victor was deeply entrenched in a web of fraud and deception. One day, Victor was approached by a notorious underworld figure, Dante Morelli, who offered him a job that would make him richer than he ever imagined. The plan was simple: forge financial documents to siphon millions from an investment firm. The payout was astronomical, but the risks were just as high. Blinded by the promise of wealth, Victor ignored the warning signs and agreed. With his expertise, the heist was executed flawlessly. Money flowed into offshore accounts, and Victor found himself living in luxury fast cars, extravagant parties, and a penthouse overlooking the city skyline. For a time, he felt invincible, but shadows always follow those who think they outrun them. Unknown to Victor, Dante had no intention of sharing the wealth. One night, Victor returned to his penthouse to find his door ajar. Inside, Dante sat comfortably on his couch, flanked by two menacing enforcers. "Enjoying your fortune?" Dante asked, his voice smooth but laced with danger. Victor knew immediately he had been set up. Before he could reach for his phone, the enforcers grabbed him. "You see, Victor," Dante continued, "loyalty is priceless, and you've outlived your usefulness." They didn't kill him, though. That would have been too merciful. Instead, they turned him in. The authorities had been tracking Dante for years, and with Victor's involvement, they finally had enough evidence to bring them all down. In exchange for leniency, Victor testified against Dante and his organization. But even with his cooperation, Victor couldn't escape justice. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison. The wealth he had coveted was gone, the luxury replaced by a cold cell and the regret of a wasted life. As he sat alone in his cell, he reflected on his choices. Greed had given him everything he ever wanted, only to take it all away. If only he had been content with an honest life, he wouldn't be paying the price of his crimes. Moral of the story: the choices we make define our future. Taking shortcuts may lead to temporary gains, but in the end, integrity and responsibility shape a life worth living.